Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. Once again, we're changing up what I initial was my comeback schedule to bring you some brand new 2018 Cyberverse figures. We already took a look at Ultimate Class Optimus Prime, so now we're going to take a look at Ultimate Class Megatron. First of all, I gotta say, I really like this figure. Much like Optimus Prime, this is a very nice, larger scale version of the authentic, like 4-inch Megatron, that very articulated tank robot. Unlike Optimus Prime, there's not a lot of articulation with Megatron. I mean, let's get this out of the way. Basically, what you're seeing now is the extent of Megatron's arm transformation, and that's strictly for transformation. There's nothing in the head due to transformation. There's nothing in the waist due to transformation. The legs, the hips are on a universal joint, so they can go forward and back. They ratchet, at least forward and back, and there is a knee, so that's nice. One thing I do want to show you real quick is, if you notice, his entire body is sculpted in that, I want to say an anime, pelvis forward type pose, which once again makes me think of the old animated line where they did a lot of sculpting like that. And so it is kind of interesting to see how they're doing that. Bring that leg back. Other than that, there is a lot of nice sculpted detail. You have missiles here down by the ankles because, why not? On the arms, you do have some secondary weapons. On his his right arm here is his fusion cannon, which is part of the gimmick. Unfortunately, it's fixed into place over the fist there. But from what I can tell, it does look like they didn't mold the fist in completely, even with a little 5mm port like on this hand. So, gotta respect the detail there. I mean, overall, I like the look of this Megatron. I've always said that if Hasbro had made Megatron as an original toy, chances are it would have looked something more like a tank than of a Walther P-38 or whatever. Like Optimus Prime, Megatron does have an action attack feature. And basically, to do that, you want to bring the arms back down to a neutral pose. And this, I do want to mention one of my little quibbles with this figure, is that the shoulders and the arm sections snap into place a little further back, like he's trying to bump his chest out, and that makes the arms appear a little off-center. It's a small thing, but nothing, to lose sleep over, but it is something I do notice and wanted to mention. So after you bring the arms down to a neutral pose, you want to go ahead and swing them out to the side just like this. And then we're going to bring them forward on that, I guess you can say like forward armpit joint or whatever, and we're going to snap them together. There's some slots here on the inside of the fusion cannon that are going to tab into place on the arm. And yes, this is for also a step in transformation. So there you have Megatron and his ready for his fusion attack mode. There's a little button here on the inside, and what that will do is depress a little lever that goes inside the fusion cannon and trips a latch, causing the front end of the fusion cannon to spring out as if it's a powered-up charge shot. I do like that coloring. Now, I am a little disappointed that you have to bring the arms together like this to do that. There isn't any way to do it with just the cannon on its own. But yeah, so why don't we pause right here, and we'll get into the rest of the transformation. Okay, I'm going to do this a little bit out of order from the directions, just because I think it works a little bit better this way. The next step after you have the arms together like this is you want to just go ahead and push his head down. And, surprisingly, it's not staying in place. You know what? We'll get to that in a minute there, because that's a little surprising. But the next step is you want to come in underneath and bring down the feet, the front part, which are the treads, and just roll it all the way around. Close up the feet, form the treads. Then you're going to come on the inside of the left arm, the left leg, and there's a little panel here, which I should show you, that you're going to flip up. Bring that back down. And what's nice is there is like a molded in panel there on the right leg, which I thought was nice. That's going to peg into the right leg, and that will peg the legs together. Next, what you want to do is go ahead, disconnect the hips from the chest, swing this all forward, and basically what you're going to see is there are grooves in the underside of the arm that should sit, that little panels should sit in from the leg. And at this point, you can bring Megatron's head down. I actually think that when you snap the hips back into place, that pops it up. It's weird. I thought it was either the arms or the hips or something cause his head to pop up. But anyway, once you have that done, and this is basically how you check to make sure it's right, have everything back just like that. The little panels here on the side where the missiles are, they'll unpeg and swing out. There's a slot here right under his armpit and a tab here right above the hip that the legs are going, that panel will peg into. And here's my other little quibble with this figure, and that's one side will peg in securely, the other side won't. And I don't know why. I'm pretty sure I have everything lined up properly, but it just... And the thing is, it's like you can unpeg one side, and then that side will peg in, but then... Oh, no, it's not. Thought it would. There you go. But unfortunately, yeah, you do have it sticking out ever so slightly. Maybe there's too much paint there. Maybe a tab or a slot is just the wrong size. But here you have Megatron in its tank mode. The fusion attack still works. Still kind of cool. I wish there was a way to lock this in the open position, because I don't know if this represents him shooting or just charging up the shot, but I do like the use of that Energon pink type of coloring. But other than that, you do have... It is a very nice tank. Obviously, like I've said at the beginning, this is a nice update to the Authentics 4-inch Megatron, which in and of itself was an update of sorts to the Cyber Series Battalion class Megatron. But here's one that's like, and like I said with Optimus Prime, it's a little bit of G1 with a little bit of animated mixed together with a few new things, like from the Authentics line and Cyber Series and all that. And it's a really cool figure. And, if you look straight ahead, there are those guns and missile pods from under the arms. So it really is a nice armored up figure. So we'll pause, and I'll give you my final thoughts. As I've said with Optimus Prime, most collectors have already made their decision about the Cyber Series, and it's not a positive one. They feel it's far too gimmick heavy, and the figures are lacking in the articulation that they so desperately need, because, giant robots have to do the diving dog yoga pose to be any good. I think this is a fine toy. I think it's really fun. I don't think it's as good as Optimus Prime. I would have preferred maybe a locking tab here in the knee with the forearms as an extra step to help lock the legs in place, besides relying on these side tabs. I would have liked those side tabs to fit in a little bit better. And if I'm honest, I also really would have preferred a way to trigger the fusion gimmick without having to have the arms pegged together. I got this figure off of eBay with Optimus Prime, so hopefully I won't be asked a million times in the comments, where'd I get this? But they are starting to show up now in Target. In fact, all the size classes are showing up in Target in North America, in Canada, and the United States, so North America. I think it's worth a pickup. And, you know, I give it a good thumbs up. I'd like to thank you all for watching, especially if you watched the video to the end here. I'll know if you did or didn't, depending on the questions you asked me in the comments. It does help. For the 92% of you that aren't subscribed but still watch my videos, subscribe. It's kind of fun. Also, if you could like and comment, that would be helpful. That does work with YouTube's algorithms now and the various things there in terms of exposure and all that stuff. And, you know, I would always appreciate whatever help you can give. This is your old pal Chuck, or Megatron. We will see you next time.